Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Footy Show Daily. We are live here on Patreon. If you want to join us, the link is in the description. It's definitely the Footy Show Daily.
It is.
Let's just
Footy Show
make
Daily.
sure, because if you're watching this live, it's a bit late. So it's nearly 5 o'clock, but it's not quite. It's the Footy Show Daily. There's a question that is out there at the moment. It's about Liverpool Football Club. It is whether they are the best ever Premier League team. Before we get into it, let's just hear what these lads have got to say about it.
Around the invincible team, we're not like these mugs, yeah? They bottled.
Why are we mugs?
I'm gonna show you why you're mugs. You dashed off FA. You dashed off the League Cup. That invincible team, we went for every trophy. We went for the FA Cup, got to the semi-final. Went for the League Cup, got to the semi-final. Won the league unbeaten, yeah? And then we got, obviously, you mugs, Wayne Bridge, yeah? But quarter-final, we went deep into every tournament, blood. These men got kicked out at last 16 in the Champions League, yeah? Bottled League Cup, got smack up in the FA Cup, done, and then it was just the league.
Yeah,
we went hard in every competition, we showed respect to every team we played. You tried to move like you're the dog's bollock.
There you go. That was Troops getting very animated.
I was going to say, Troops was very animated there, wasn't it?
Obviously, the Arsenal side.
The Invincibles.
The Invincibles. And obviously, they will always have that because they...
Until someone else does it.
Well, if someone else does, but they will always have the fact that they were unbeaten.
Which is an incredible achievement.
It is a credible achievement, but is it better to go unbeaten, or is it better to get a better points tally? Which one shows you're the best? Or is it better to accumulate more trophies? You know, this is the argument, isn't it, that will rage on for a good while. Is Liverpool are possibly heading for a highest ever points tally. If they win their games, they'll get that. They'll beat Manchester City's record from a couple of seasons ago. But they'll do it only winning one trophy. The Premier League, as Troops eloquently said there, they're not in the latter stages of any other tournament, so they've put all their eggs in one basket, even though I don't think... Well, they definitely did. Well, they went to the World Club Championships, I appreciate that, and they won that. But what defines who's the best?
Well, they're the best this season, quite comfortably. And like you say, if they amass the most amount of points, then obviously no one can really argue with that. You can only beat what's in front of you. And, at the time of recording this video, only 3 teams are taking points off them this season so far. So I don't think anyone can question Liverpool's credentials. Are they the greatest team ever to play in the Premier League? Debatable. That's what it's there for, isn't it? I mean, you look at the Invincibles, you look at Manchester United, who've had an incredible side as well in that time. Chelsea have had some good sides. Man City won the league, the FA Cup, the League Cup, done a treble, over 100 points, didn't they? Or got 90 odd points, and certainly won more than one trophy in a season. And have done every year. And in a group, we're in a WhatsApp group, Steve was saying that City could end up with the League Cup, the FA Cup and the Champions League. Is that a better season than what Liverpool have had? But I don't think you can... I think it's really difficult to say who's the best of the time, because when Arsenal went unbeaten, there was a few teams who were in the mix at that time. Liverpool themselves had a decent side that year as well, and obviously we know Arsenal and United had that brilliant rivalry for a while. When Manchester United, won the league in '99, they were incredible. They had a fantastic side that season, didn't they? And great performances as well. It's always hard these when you're trying to use the best of this era and use the best of that.
The different times, aren't they? The different times, and as you mentioned there, you can only be the best of your own season. It's very hard. Listen, don't get me wrong, there are very much standout teams of every generation. I mean, I think the Pep Guardiola Barcelona side is probably the greatest side I've ever seen. But then some people would argue that they've seen better sides. In Europe, whether it be AC Milan's, whether it be Ajax in the 70s, whether it be Liverpool of the 80s. You know, it's always hard to say because we're all brought up in different versions of football. We all tend to look back fondly on different eras when the sort of football we grew up appreciating was that's how we remember, that's how we think about it.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of that at the moment. You only have to put your TVs on. I mean, we were sitting the other day watching France versus Portugal in 2,000 Euros, and the game was, it felt to us like it had that brilliant balance because it was still physical, but it was also Zidane pirouetting round people.
Figo,
and you had
like
Figo,
that,
and you had that power and strength, and it's different for people. Personally, I think Manchester United 99 is the best side. That's my personal feeling, and the reason I say that is because they won the Premier League, they won the Champions League, they won the FA Cup, so obviously they've done the domestic double, and they also had major competition from an Arsenal side, a really good Arsenal side as well, that pushed them hard. Don't forget, I don't think they won the Premier League till the last day at home. I think they won the Premier League on the last day. They beat
Spurs, was it?
Spurs,
And Beckham scored 3-1, yeah. Andy Cole.
They took the lead, haven't they? You know, the Champions League, obviously,
The
they won it
greatest ever comeback.
The greatest ever comeback. They won it in the injury time, the second half, 2 goals. So, for me, that's because they've been pushed. Now, the Man City side that got the best points total, I think they won it at an absolute counter. And the irony is, because they did that the season before last, and then they had a good season last season, but Liverpool pushed them. Liverpool have had to work extra hard, or Man City had to work extra hard last season, and Liverpool have gone above them. So then a lot of people would say, well, if Liverpool get them record points tally this season, then, and it doesn't seem like Man City in the league, then they deserve to be called the best. But then there's 18 other sides in the Premier League who you watch them week in and week out, and you look at the gap between actually Man City and Liverpool and the rest of the Premier League, then that tells you the rest of the Premier League's not so good. So does that take away from what Liverpool have done this season?
No, because Liverpool have lost 2 games in 2 years. They haven't lost a home game since 2017. So there's no denying how strong Jurgen Klopp's team is. It's an incredible football team. Is it aesthetically as pleasing as Manchester City? No. But they do the job, don't they? They get the job done. They do play some great football at times, and the physical, they can battle with you. And that's always a good mix if you've got a team that can do a little bit of both. I mean, that's been the big criticism level at Man City, hasn't it? They've lost 7 times this season. You know, they're way off it. 60 odd points they've got. Liverpool are on 80 odd. So, you know, Liverpool have done what they have done and done it really well. City have underperformed. But I don't think that's a criticism you can level at Liverpool just because the rest of the league hasn't competed maybe the way it should have done. But then Leicester City won the league a few years ago when this kind of thing happened. Teams dipped. City have underperformed this season. We know that. But that doesn't take away what Liverpool have done, because Liverpool have beaten what's in front of them, bar 3 teams. In fact, if Liverpool win the 3 home games, they've won every single home game this season, which is unbelievable achievement, absolutely unbelievable achievement. So there's reasons why people are asking, is it the best?
I think what they've done in this season is,
and it's hard as ever told me to say that, by the way,
but I think what they've done in this season is they've definitely put themselves in the conversation. And what I would say is, and again, as hard as it is to say is, but you could say this for any team that wins the league for the first time in 30 years, and in that year puts themselves in the conversation as, are they one of the best? Are they the best Premier League team? That's from going, actually. Because really, with the points tally last season, you should have, I know, you know, there was a lot of stick thrown around about this, but that points tally would normally win you the Premier League.
By a bit as well.
So, you know, exactly. So they've got to the level last season that would, and that's the mad thing about it, isn't it? You know, you look at, and this is where different seasons come in. When Everton finished 4th in the Premier League, you know, any other season that probably would have been 5th, maybe 6th. That 64 points, was it?
61.
61. Whereas we've got we got under Martinez into the
72.
70s
And finished fifth.
and finished fifth. So it does tell you that every season.
We'd had more points under Moyes than the year we finished fourth.
Yeah.
And got sixth rather, and fifth and sixth. So you can only judge it on seasons, can't you? Liverpool were unlucky, if you like, last season that they had an opponent who done exactly what they did and done it better, obviously, because they finished with more points. This year, people have been surprised how much City have dropped.
Who's yours then? Who do you think? Who's yours?
It's really difficult to say. I know it's a bit. I know it's a bit of
the fencing.
I know it's a little bit. I've got splinters and all that. I think the team. I think Arsenal was. I loved that Arsenal side because of Vieira and the balance with it in Bergkamp, people like that. But then the United team never say die.
But I actually think on the Invincibles, I think there's a better Arsenal side in the Premier League than the Invincibles. I think when they won the double, was it? I think was it Wenger's first season?
98.
When
he beat us.
I actually think that was
4-0 that one.
I actually think that might have been a better. No, we
can't say that though because
I know, but the Invincible thing clouds the judgment because I know they went unbeaten. But if you look at the points though, the points wasn't like anywhere near a record points thing. They had loads of draws.
They didn't lose though.
No, which is amazing, and you can't take that away. And that'll be the thing that will always be the thing that Arsenal fans can say. Well, we didn't get beat, so surely we were the best. But the fact, I think there was a better Arsenal side, and that's where
I think in terms, like I said before, purely aesthetically, Manchester City the best team I think I've seen in the Premier League. Because incredible, 2 leagues on the run, over 100 points 1 year, goals. They've stuck. Was it 199, 198 points over 2 seasons or something? Incredible.
So do you think last season Man City side, the fact that they did the
treble?
So you think that's the best?
Yeah, because they got knocked out in the quarter final of the Champions League.
Yeah. When
they shouldn't have done. Let's be honest. Llorente used his arm for a goal, and then they had a goal disallowed for offside. So I feel as though they should have got past Spurs in that really, and that would have took them in the last 4 of the Champions League as well. He won the League Cup, won the FA Cup, 6-0, destroyed Watford, and won the league. So I think it's really difficult to argue against that. Liverpool have been amazing. Listen, Liverpool might get 100 and however many points they can get. Left 110 or I can't remember the games and stuff, but they can get it well over 100 points, which would make them the highest points total ever. But just from a pure football point of view, I'd have to say Manchester City.
Okay. I'm still going United 99. I think
United were brilliant in 99, and they won.
That was for me. I just thought to win the Champions League. Because to win the Champions League and the Premier League, I think is an
1-0 down against Bayern Munich in injury time in the Champions League final, and you win it in injury time.
I think that's an incredible feat. I really do, and has clearly, obviously, never been done since. So, some comments on Patreon. People watching live on Patreon, you can do that by clicking the link in the description if you join the conversation live when we do these shows. Connor Gerrard says, not the best team. The best team is relative to what other teams are playing. I think Liverpool have had a lucky season where teams haven't been up to spec this season. Okay. Steve?
I think what I would say about Liverpool this season, they've won a lot of tight games, but then that's what good teams do. I've seen Klopp saying something the other day about, we watched games and he didn't know how they were going to win it, and somehow they come up with something and won it. But that's what champions do, don't they? Where City blitzed teams, didn't they? But then again, I don't think you can say they've been lucky.
No, but then
there's just been a dip, hasn't there?
On that, Man City go and destroy Burnley at home, and then go to Chelsea away and can't find. And they've done that too many times, and we've sat here so many times and said, you get Manchester City will always give you a chance. Now, whether you take that chance or not, that's up to you. Look at the cup game on Sunday. 1-0 up, and Newcastle get a chance, 5 yards out, miss it, and 2 minutes later the game's over. That's Man City for you. Whereas I think with Liverpool don't give you that chance. No. They just get 1, 2 and 3. Steve Kelly says, I personally think for strength and power, that first Jose Mourinho year with Chelsea was the hardest to beat out of them all. He's throwing in.
Was that 05, was it?
I think so, yeah.
When they had Robin and people like that.
Robin and Damien Duff, Lampard and Johnson. And,
still there?
yeah.
Yeah, they were a strong
great
side. Chelsea were a brilliant side under Mourinho.
Simon Townley says, if City win the Champions League and FA Cup, will Pep win the Manager of the Year award? Because Klopp only won the Champions League last year and won it, whereas Pep guides City to more trophies.
Klopp will win it.
See, that was the interesting thing about last season, wasn't it?
That was nonsense last year.
City's treble almost just got forgotten about because Liverpool won the Champions League, and I wonder whether that'll be reversed this year if City win the Champions League. Will everyone suddenly forget Liverpool have won the league? I don't think so. Anyway, let us know your thoughts about that in the comments. It's a great debate. It can never be answered. It's like who's the greatest ever player ever? Clearly, it's Messi. But the two players last night showed all what they're about. Obviously, Messi scored his 700th goal with a Panenka penalty, and Ronaldo at 35 smashes one in, and that wasn't even the best goal of the game, by the way.
No.
It wasn't even
But
Douglas Costa scored a better. But last night, both players showed how amazing they are.
Ronaldo's 726th goal of his career last night.
And Messi scoring a 700 and...
The greatest rivalry of all time.
It's the greatest rivalry.
Without a shadow.
Messi is the greatest football player of all time, right? But Ronaldo is the greatest international footballer of all time. That's what I'm saying. It's not probably strictly true, but I am saying that.
I don't know whether it's strictly true.
It's probably not strictly true, but I'm just trying to sit on some kind of fence here, like you with the best team, and I'm just going to say that.
I said it.
I know, I'm only messing. But I do believe that in terms of club football, Messi's the better player, but in terms of international football, out of the two of them at least, Ronaldo's the better player because he finds something that Messi can't seem to find at international level. But that's not what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about that because that can be done on any show at any day. I just wanted to highlight it. My question is, where's the next one? Because Messi's 33 and Ronaldo's 35. Where's the next one? Where's the next player?
The next rivalry or the next player? No, the
next player.
Kylian Mbappe.
But he's 23?
True.
22? So why is there no one in between? Why is there 11 years between Mbappe? Who's the player? Have we got them right under our nose? Are we discrediting Sane? Are we discrediting Salah in that?
Salah.
Are we discrediting Kevin De Bruyne?
Sane, have you just said?
Sane, yeah. And Salah.
City's Sane.
Yeah. I'm just throwing him.
I know he's a boss player, but
just saying.
He's not. You
What
can't
about
put
Kevin
him in.
De Bruyne?
De Bruyne is a. Yeah, but how are you choosing? What are you?
I'm not choosing. What I'm just picking as names randomly that are appearing.
That's what
in
it
my
seems like.
Because
there's no.
There's no. Is though, right? And again, we've just been talking about collections of players, right? We always go back to the either the late 90s and early 2000s, and you look all around Europe, and you look at the Galacticos, and you look at the Barcelona players, and you look at like Juventus's players, and you look at the France team, and you look at the Portugal team, and you look at England's golden generation, and it just seemed to have household. Put it this way, right? This is the easiest way. Who would be in a Pepsi advert?
Mbappe.
But who else?
Salah.
Who else? Think about like
De Bruyne.
But think about those big adverts,
Aguero.
right? Where you have all these players, right? Household name players. Who are they now? Because that's where I struggle. Because I just don't. I think there's like almost like a gap between these older players and these younger players.
Lukaku.
And I don't know who's in between. No, I know. But what's Lukaku ever won?
No, I know. Nothing. Europe. Yeah, he hasn't won a thing, has he? Won nothing.
No.
It's an interesting one because obviously Messi and Ronaldo are two forward players, so you can judge them on goals or you can judge them on natural ability or what they've done. Said this to you last week or the week before we were talking when someone asked us, one of our patrons asked us, I think, is Ronaldo better for the simple reason that he's gone and done it in other countries where Messi's just sat in that Barcelona side, which has been an incredible team. Okay, that's a feat in itself, the fact he's stayed in that team since he was 17 and he's 32 or whatever. But he's literally stayed in the same team for 15 years. It's dominated Spain for a large portion of that. with incredible footballers, where Ronaldo went off and was brilliant at Manchester United and then went to Real Madrid and was brilliant at Real Madrid. He's now gone to Juventus. He's the first player, if he scores one more goal, he's the first player since the 60s to score 25 goals in a season for Juve. Since, I'm going to know, Omar Savori in 61 season. So still doing it. Still performing, still scoring lots of goals. So he's gone and done it in different countries. But they are directly you can make a direct comparison because both players are forward players. When you throw De Bruyne in, Kevin De Bruyne is a wonderful, incredible footballer. Probably the best player in the Premier League.
No, he's the best player in the Premier League.
But he's a midfield player. You know, Sadio Mane, I think, is a fantastic footballer for Liverpool. Mohamed Salah, incredible footballer. Sterling's amazing for Man City.
Silva.
You know, Bernardo Silva's incredible. David Silva's been incredible. There's great footballers. They're all in the Premier League. What we don't have, which we did used to have, was a collection of amazing players in Spain and a collection of amazing players in Italy, and then filtering over to England. I don't know whether we've got that anymore. We've got good players like Lewandowski, who's an absolutely brilliant striker, 40-odd goals this season. I mentioned Aguero before. You go into Spain, you've got Karim Benzema on 30-odd goals this season, but you know, he's not that same level as what the other two are. I wouldn't even put him on the same level as Mohamed Salah, to be honest, or Mane, but he's still a very, very good striker. You look at Mbappe, he's the one who the buzz is about because he's quick and athletic.
The funny thing is that
where's Neymar?
Who's the Neymar?
We haven't even mentioned
Neymar. Because, but do you think I don't know? Do you think it's because football has been dominated by just a handful of teams?
Possibly.
Because Neymar's an interesting one, because we were talking about Barcelona yesterday and we were saying like the worst thing that ever happened, well, was that he should never have been allowed to have left. No. You know, he should never have been allowed to leave there. And therefore he's been like, I don't know whether the Mbappe things took over since then, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's just the world. I don't know whether it's the way we look at it now. I don't know. I feel like 15 years ago, we just seem to have all these players. Do you think one of the reasons is, and this has just popped into my mind, is the way we consume football now? Because a lot of football it's mad, because a lot of football's hidden from us now. There's a lot more pay channels. There's a lot of football that just seems to be hidden away. You know, when we used to be able to watch Channel 4 with the Italian football, Spanish football was on, you know, Sky. A lot of people have Sky, and not everyone has it. But now a lot of these channels are like Italian and Spanish football are hidden away from us as UK viewers. And I just wonder whether that puts a stop on us.
On our appreciation of other players.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there might be that, but you know what else I think has really curtailed it has been the 7 subs. Yeah. And I know people who watch this regularly will know that, you know, we've said one of the reasons why football became less competitive was because of the number of substitutes, quite simply. You can stockpile players. Look at Juventus. Take Juventus, unbelievable name in world football. Great club, incredible club. Go through their midfield players who they've got. Yeah. You know, Sami Khedira, they've had Blaise Matuidi, they've got Rabiot, they've got Bentancur, players like that. Pjanic has just joined Barcelona, but they've got Arte. You know, Aaron Ramsey. These are all centre midfield players. They've got about 6, 7 of them who are really good players. Now, if they could only have 3 or 4 of them, then the other 3 would be playing somewhere else. And then you'd be, you know, Rabiot. Adrien Rabiot is a player who had loads of talent. Yeah. You looked at him at PSG and were like, hell of a player. Looks really good talent. He's gone to Juve this season and he's in and out. He's in and out. Rumours about him coming to Everton. Rumours about him getting put out on loan. I know their technical director was playing it down the other day. But then there's other players when you go around the world with that. Paul Pogba's an unbelievable footballer, but inconsistent.
I just very quickly, the Everton team, Jordan Pickford, Seamus Coleman, Michael Keane, Mason Holgate, Luke Dean, Alex Iwobi, Andre Gomes, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Anthony Gordon. Yeah, there you go. Do you know who's a name that jumps out to me on this recently is Griezmann.
Another one, yeah.
Griezmann is a player that, when he was at Atletico Madrid, was absolutely flying. The team was built around him. and then he moves to Barcelona, and it just feels like it's a wedge. Feels like it's been he's getting, you know, shoehorned in there, and it doesn't feel like it's the right balance. And it feels like he's not playing his best football when he should be playing his best football. Whereas I think maybe, I'm not saying back in the day or anything, but maybe, because players have always moved to the top clubs. But I don't know whether it's, I don't know whether it's because we don't have as many top clubs now, or there's this thing that you have to go to Barcelona, or you have to go to Real Madrid or whatever, that he just looks out of place. Whereas if he'd stayed at Atletico Madrid, I think you could appreciate him a little bit more. And it's almost like, I tell you, the other one who's I saw the opposite of this is Lewandowski, who everyone was saying he's got to go to Real Madrid. And he had a year or two, maybe where he dipped a year or so, where I think he thought he had to move. And then he stayed, he's got his head down, and now he's and now you look at him and go, he's amazing him. Whereas I think if he went to Real Madrid, you'd lose that. He'd get lost in all that. But at Bayern Munich, I think he's the fulcrum of the team now. And I think you look at him and go, he is amazing. But
well, what they're doing, he's 31, isn't he, Lewandowski, but he's got 40 odd goals. And what they're doing is putting even more pace around him, with obviously Leroy Sané. You just mentioned that deal went through yesterday, £54 million. Yeah. Incredible, you know. City, obviously Pep wanted to keep him, but he couldn't play him, and Sané wanted to play. So, you know, back to Germany, where he was obviously very good. Hoffenheim, wasn't it, before he went to, or was it Schalke? Schalke, it might have been, before he went to City. So he's gone back to Germany. And I think he'll be incredible when you look at their team. Gnabry, you know, Alphonso Davies, they've got runners, they've got pace everywhere. And then Lewandowski can just stay in the middle and put the ball in the net.
It's an interesting discussion point. We'll see what happens over the next couple of years when these two players phase out to replace them. Because someone will have to replace them just from a commercial point of view.
Well, hang on, what about Jadon Sancho?
Who's
obviously someone who's coming
Paul
through. There's good players. There's players who can attract attention on a world stage. There's no doubt about that. These two are just. These two are still a step.
But I do think, though, in the next couple of years, when these two start getting phased out, then it will be that thing. It'll be the commercialisation of whoever is next.
The next one.
The Nike and the Adidas and the big companies.
That's why
whoever
I think
they
it'll
push.
be Mbappe.
No, I think it will be. It's just who's going with him. Bruno Fernandes. Talking about players going to the right clubs. He's, you know, continuing his brilliant form for Manchester United, and helped them to a 3-0 win over Brighton last night.
Transformed United. He's absolutely transformed what looked like a very average Manchester United team. I know they didn't have Pogba, and he's come back in as well, and that's helped. But United looked very mechanical up until Fernandes came in. We got to see him at Goodison just before the lockdown. He was very good that day. I think him and Pogba can be a dangerous partnership for Manchester United in that midfield. And obviously last night they had Mason Greenwood scored a cracking goal. Looked dangerous coming off on his left foot, coming off the right wing. And Fernandes, obviously a huge slice of luck for the first goal. Big deflection. It was going the other side of the goal, and it took a deflection past Matt Ryan. But his second goal was brilliant. Great pass by Matic, and he finished it off a little clipped cross, and he volleyed it in for 3-0. And United are in the groove now, aren't they? They closed the gap. They look like they're hunting down Leicester and Chelsea. And it's that classic thing of, the break came at a good time for them. It enabled Pogba to get fully back into it. They've got, players rested and people ready to go again. Rashford's back, he wouldn't have been back. He's come back, although he hasn't hit the ground running yet, but that's good for United that the likes of Martial have and Fernandes have. So United looking good. Brighton probably still just got enough to stay up.
Let's touch very finally on Wigan. They've gone into administration today, which is very, very strange considering. And Terry McAllister said thoughts on Wigan going into administration, what it may mean for the player. Some of the players like Joe Gelhardt, who we've obviously been linked with. But they've a club that were only taken over 4 weeks ago or something like that. And obviously we've had the lockdown, which hits clubs like Wigan hard because they're a local club. But it shouldn't happen, should it? You know, you have a fit and proper owner test and all that. It shouldn't happen that a few weeks later. I know. With Newcastle.
Newcastle thing.
It shouldn't happen only a few weeks later. They go on administration. And it's what happens now with administration. Did you get 12 points deducted? Because that seems completely unfair to me.
That's what's been announced.
No, I know, but that just seems completely unfair to me that would happen.
But they've gone into
that would relegate them.
They've gone into administration because of COVID. So they should be able to kind of take the league or the FA to court over that, because it's out of their hands, isn't it? That's the effect. It's very strange. Hopefully they can continue. We've seen Bolton, who have been struggling for a while, but have managed to somehow keep going along, haven't we? I mean, Steve Kelly says, all right, let's hope you both well. Yeah, do you think it's fair to say Premier League clubs must help the Championship and League One too? I don't think the Premier League will, but go on.
Bin parachute payments and start getting the money filtering down. Get rid of that parachute. The parachute payments are a disgrace. They are a disgrace, right? Because all it does is, it gives someone like Villa, who have now apparently are going to have to look at restructuring their whole club if they go down because of the money they've spent. Stop giving clubs the opportunity and say, well, when we come up, we're going to spend a fortune, because it won't matter, because when we go down, we're going to get it all back in that big handshake. Get rid of that parachute payments and put all that money into all the clubs. Or even so there's so a club like Wigan get that few extra £1 million a year.
That keeps them going.
It keeps them going. And just on Terry, just on your comment, signing a player like Joe Gelhardt, to be fair, mate, I understand that point of view, but I like it. I want it the other way. I want a club like Wigan to be able to come to Everton and take players like Joe Williams and Kieran Dow and, as Robinson, like we've already seen. That's where clubs like that will be a massive loss for us, because we'll be creating players that, there won't be any clubs. So it's great that you've got your Joe Gelhardt and people like that who you're going to take, but you want that anyway. That's an organic relationship. But that's where Championship clubs and League One clubs, League Two clubs are going to have to redefine their relationships with Premier League clubs. And I don't mean by feeder clubs. What I mean is like how it used to be, where it was you have our kids if they're not good enough for us for a couple of million, and when you get a good player, you don't charge us the air for them, because that's where football's gone wrong in the last few years. Is that Championship clubs have gone, oh yeah, you want our best player? 30 million, mate. It's like, what? No, you're all right.
We'll go and buy him from Europe instead.
We'll go and buy him from Europe, and
for a third of the
you'll
price.
be stuck with a player that doesn't want to play for you. And then what'll happen is he'll leave on a free anyway once his contract runs out. So
you'll end up flogging him for nothing.
Yeah. So if we get that harmony, it should all work better. But that should start with those parachute payments getting lashed. Dave Whelan claims he may have to step in to save Wigan. If so, do you think we'll get the FA Cup broken leg story again next season?
Of course we will.
That's on Paul Callum.
Of course we will. He'll say, well, this reminds me of the time when my leg was broken in the FA Cup.
But it is very, very sad, and it shouldn't happen. And I don't think they should get a 12 points. But then this is up to the administrators to find out what's been going on, where the money's been going.
Yeah.
Is there something else going on at the club? Did the guy come in and buy the club and, I don't know, has been...
We've seen this already though, this year with Berry. Fella took over and had no interest in it, so something needs to be done.
Something needs to be done. There you go. Anything else before we go?
No.
There you go, okay.
Just that there's a report today on why West Ham have to stay up if they don't, the club's
So what that tomorrow?
Oh no, I'm just saying, that was basically it.
Yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for contributing live. If you want to watch us live, get over on Patreon. The link is in the description. See you all later.